Okay, hello and welcome to IRL here for pre-season at Australia. For this particular pre-season, as it seemed to be in quite high demand, people wanted a practice session, so there's going to be a half an hour practice session right now, and then this will finish around 4:30, which then will go into the standard quali race that you'll be seeing for the main season this season. So hopefully I've never really done a practice session commentary before. It's a bit different, but maybe we would be seeing some quick times from some people, maybe some surprises. I mean, this is the first time we'll be seeing the drivers out on track to get an idea of who's where right now. Tom Jewell with a 22.9, he's out on a medium stint, I guess. So maybe he's trying to see kind of how long they will go. Half an hour, I think. Well, yeah, it should be well long enough to see how long they go. So maybe he's going to be doing a little bit longer of a stint. Unfortunately, I don't have anyone near with me, so it's going to be just my voice that you'll be hearing for this commentary, which, I mean, I don't mind. I've done solo commentaries before, but I wouldn't have minded someone else's. There's a few people now in the stream, which is always nice to see. So yeah, early on, it looks like Tom Jewell is setting the pace on the mediums with Adam Corrigan. Of course, both of them last season were first and... well, actually, no, they weren't. Sorry. It wasn't Tom Jewell that took it in the end, but they were second and third in the championship last season in F3. Both of them moving up to F2, so they'll be looking to set pace very early on, and of course, both of them up there as Timbri Stallions. Of course, Tom Jewell's teammate goes second there, and Dominic Hurley there goes third. So it's the two, well, kind of the alpha teams, if you want to put it like that. Alpha Tauri and Alfa Romeo occupying the top four spots. There's Jared and Paco in 5th and 6th, so it's kind of 2 by 2 by 2, and then you have the... is that a... yeah, it should be, I think. Yeah, so the Racing Points and Mercs occupying 7th through 10th. 10 people for this practice session, and we are expecting more for the race. They'll be joining throughout this practice session as well, so it should be actually pretty good. So hopefully we see some extra people by the end. But yeah, as I said, Tom Jewell was setting the pace. Adam is now improved to second. Was at 23.0, very close between the top two right now. So it seems like the two people who could fight for wins last season, they did fight each other quite a bit. Of course, I think it was Russia that Adam took the win in. Baku, he took pole in ahead of Tom Jewell. Of course, it was Tom Jewell who actually took that win after a race that wasn't looking too good for him. Is that Tom Jewell was spinning actually out of the final corner? That's not gonna bode well for the start of the season. Of course, it is pre-season. You are kind of trying to see what your limits are, trying to maybe go a bit quicker than you did last season. Of course, as I said, the F3 drivers moving up will have to be quicker if they want to compete, because of course people like Jared and Paco were already here last season. There was also Louis Quinlan. He's in 10th. He hasn't actually set a time yet. He's out on track at the moment. So yeah, they've got some competition. Of course, a lot of the top guys, including myself, did end up getting moved up. Me, Lewis Wallisman, there was Lee there as well, Lee Kelly. So a lot of the top guys have been taken out of it. So people like Paco and Jared, who were fighting back in Season 5, actually have a chance to go at it again. Of course, Jared also had a bit of a title challenge in Season 6 as well. So he has proven he can take race wins when the opportunity arises to him. So maybe he could be taking more, and especially with some of the competition gone, to say bluntly, he might actually be able to challenge for wins this season. Tom Jewell, I think, could certainly be up there as well. Of course, he was a proper title challenger. Same with Adrian Storm, who took the F3 championship last season. So both of them you would be expecting to be up there. So Tom Jewell goes into the pits. Of course, he is the man with the quickest time at the moment. Adam Corrigan, someone who was kind of an outsider in the championship last season, couldn't quite get it together to really make a proper challenge for the title, if you want to put it like that, as Jared Fosbury goes fourth with a 23.7. Of course, the times are going to be a little bit off. Of course, in quali, they should be at least in 20s, I'd say. Some in 19s. I know Tom Jewell said he was able to do a 19.3. Of course, that was in GP mode, so maybe there's a little bit difference in pace there, but it does actually bode quite well for him, because I remember last season, at least in F2, when it was quicker as well. 19.3, 19.2 was kind of what the top guys were doing. So if he's able actually to pull out a lap similar to that, he could certainly be someone we could be looking at for a win. And of course as well, maybe to challenge for this title. I'm not really sure who my favourite would be though. It's really hard to tell. Like, there's a lot of course last season going into it, there was a little bit of mystery, I guess you could say, in who was actually going to take it in the end. It ended up being myself and Lewis Wasman who went for it. He of course ended up taking it last season, unfortunately for me, but in this season I honestly have no idea who could be taking the wins. We could have multiple different race winners, because especially with the pace, Tom Jewell and of course Adam Corrigan occupying the top two spots. Tim Bruce-Dagelin's coming up from F3 as well. He's in third. The guys who were in F2 last season, that's Jared and Paco, are fourth and sixth. I'm not really sure completely. I should actually get my apologies, I should get the tires that they were actually on hards, so maybe that's a little bit of a reasoning as to why they are a little bit lower down, as actually Adam Corrigan now on the softs, so maybe he's going to be able to set it, well, maybe not with that spin. He's going to finish a tenth quicker than his previous quickest lap. I think, yeah, Louis Quinlan just improved there as Adam Corrigan clips the grass on the inside there. But he is going to be looking to improve. Of course, he's one of the first ones on the softs. Shane is in the pits on softs. He hasn't actually gone out for a lap, or at least hasn't set a valid lap yet, as Adam Corrigan now purple in Sector 2. You would be expecting this to be first for this session. Of course, the first time going to be on softs. Now coming through the final few corners, approaching the hairpin. Can be quite a tricky exit to get right. We'll see as he exits in third gear. Very interesting gear to be exiting in, as he has a little bit of a slide through the final corner. But he's going to approach the line now. It should be pole. Well, not pole, but it should be first at least, as a 21.9. So yeah, I wouldn't say that's going to be representative of what you'll see in quali. Of course, they have the extra mode of max in fuel as well, so it should be much quicker, or you would expect it to be much quicker, as I think that's Louis Quinlan now just ahead, or maybe it's actually, that could be Reese March there in front as Adrian Storm now. Tom Jewell's title rival goes ahead of Tom Jewell on the mediums there by about 2/10, almost exactly 2/10, as there is, I think, Jared Fosbury maybe going through. He is, okay, no, that was actually Paco Suarez going through there. Yeah, it was. So two Renaults now out on track, quite a few people out on track, the only people not being Shane and the two Alpha Tauris actually, of Tom and Tim. I have to say, by the way, I really like the way they're teammates, because it's just like Tom and Tim, like really quick, only one letter in the difference. It just agrees with my OCD, I'm not gonna lie, but that's just me. As we see now Paco Suarez go through the fast left right of turns 11 and 12, very odd corner, I'd say. You can get it right normally, but if you get it slightly offline, it could be either an invalidation, or you could end up spinning into the wall on your right, which happens quite a lot here in Australia, so could be a bad thing to be seeing happen. Of course, we have damage on. It should be reduced, if I'm correct, for this session, so maybe not race ending, especially with it only being pre-season. You don't want people crashing out. I mean, it's meant to be a bit of a fun experience to get them settled into the season. So yeah, as we see Paco Suarez now, he's going to be on the mediums. First time on the medium, so we'll go on board with him. Adam Corrigan, of course, has set a soft time. I'd say it's still beatable on mediums. I wouldn't say, yeah, 8/10. That's huge up on his time as he doesn't validate, but we'll stay on board with him. Of course, he's going to be... Oh, well, never mind. Maybe he doesn't want to improve on that. So we'll go on board with Jared Fosbury here. He's kind of a bit on his own. Maybe it's good for him, a bit of clean air as well. So he's in Sector 3. Now, I didn't actually catch how much he was up on his time, if he was up on his time, but I would assume he is by now. Or is he going to be coming through the final few corners now? Apologies, I'm just typing in a Discord here. As actually, yeah, Jared Fosbury goes P2 as a 22.4, so yeah, that's a little bit more representative of Jared Fosbury, I think. So yeah, on the hards, mediums would be probably a 21 or maybe high 20, and then the softs being in 19s, so that actually seems to be a bit of a representative time from Jared Fosbury there, so a nice lap from him. Okay, and that's Jared Fosbury into the pits then. So we'll see Adam Corrigan, he's on a set of softs, of course. These are practice tires, they won't actually carry over into the race, so they can use as much as they want. As I have someone asking for an invite, so I will get them an invite now. Okay, I'm sorry about that, just Discord things there. Just had to sort out some things there. The stream seems fine. I'm just gonna actually make sure that my voice is going okay. So you might hear the stream momentarily for a second, but it's just to make sure. Yeah, it is. Never mind. That's fine. And actually, Lewis Hosman in the chat. Hello, Lewis. How are you doing? Didn't actually think I'd see you here, but nice to see you here. Of course, he's my teammate now for F1. So hopefully we'll be able to make our mark. As of course we were 1 and 2 in the championship last season, so hopefully we can make a big impact, as Tim now has actually gone into a pair of softs recently. He has set a 20.8. So again, I wouldn't... Oh, well, that's a bad ref glitch. I wouldn't say that's quite representative, but again, they do have the extra mode in quali that they're given as max mode, so maybe that they'll be able to bring those tires a little bit quicker, as Adam Corrigan now is on a fresh set of softs. Hopefully he's gonna, well, maybe not hopefully, but he could be on a good lap here. It looks like he's going for it, as he's used quite a lot of overtake, and it is only his first lap. As actually he's spinning around there. He's not really spinning, but he's losing back in for sure around the final corner, and he is gonna peel into the pits. If he did that in an actual race, that would definitely give you a 5-second penalty, as it would have been after the bollard, but he's lucky that it's only pre-season and he's not going to get penalised for that. And of course it is only a practice session. If you did it in quali, it probably wouldn't be a massive deal. I'm not sure, but in the race I can say for sure it's very much illegal. So that is Jared. That's the Renault of Jared. Has well, actually quite a few more people have joined now. 14 car grid for a practice session. It's quite nice to see. As we'll see, that's the Williams. I'm going to check. That's off the top of my head. It's kind of hard. I will start kind of recognizing people by their cars eventually, I'd say. Yeah, that would be Mouchelot in the Williams. So he's here now. It's nice to see he's on the mediums at the moment, at 23.8 on those mediums. If someone has gone quicker, that's, I think, Dom. It looks like Dom has just gone quicker up into third, because he wasn't just behind him, as Tom Jewell set the pace early on. He's now down in sixth. So we'll try to find someone to go on board with this as a racing point coming out of the pits there, but we'll go on board with Mouchelot. It looks like someone has actually been off the track there. That's, looks like, yeah, it is actually Reisman who's been off the track, but we'll have a look at Mouchelot's lap here as he comes through turns 4 and 5, it should be. Well, that should be turn... Oh, I need to get a look at the map, honestly. I can't quite remember. I do remember turns 10 and 11 though, as he actually invalidates. It's very unfortunate for him. Very easy corner to invalidate. If you go just a little bit wide, you can get up on that curb just a little bit too much, and that's exactly what's happened to him. Okay, just to... So, Mouchelot, Yuan Kors. I probably butchered that name. Yuan Kors? E-U-A-N? I'm not completely sure. I hope I didn't. If you are listening to the stream and I did butcher it, please let me know. If I didn't, then great, but I'm not completely sure. Oh, I thought Reese March was actually going to go off the track there, but luckily he actually kept it on. And, well, not really. It was a bit more of lag, if anything. So, yeah, he's fine, as he's going to come through. As Tom Jewell now sets a 21.1 to go second to his teammate. So the two AlphaTauris leading the way at the moment. But will that carry over into the qualifying? Is another question. As of course the two Alfa Romeos seem quite close. Jared Fosbury, and I'm sure Paco Suarez as well, he's only set a time on hards. He's got more pace than that. Of a 25.6, I'd say he can certainly be in probably the high 19s or mid 19s. If Tom Jewell can do it in GP, I think Paco can do it. I think he's capable of it. So, or maybe Tom Jewell has just got that much quicker. You never know. I mean, this is of course preseason. This is where you kind of get an idea of everything. As we see Louis Quinnen now coming through the final sector, there's Tom Jewell behind him, a little bit on track. Quite a few people in the pits at the moment. So maybe some people will be coming out last minute to set a representative time as in comes Louis Quinlan to the pits there. As I think Tom Jewell may be doing the same. Yeah, he is. So he just went out for a single lap. Adrian Storm is out on the softs. He has... I think he's lost fuel. Looks like he... Oh no, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. He's low on fuel, but he hasn't lost his fuel. Reese March, however, may well have actually lost fuel. Yeah, he has. He's going full throttle. Seems like a lot of people going very, very slowly. Pacosaurus out on the softs now, so gonna go on board with him and see how well he can do. And seeing that migrating host is really not encouraging for me right now. I really hope that doesn't mess up the lobby. Oh, you're getting crushed. That's... it looks like the lobby's okay. I hope that it doesn't, like, mess up through to quali, but I might... I'm not sure. If it seems okay, then I think I can just invite you back, Jared, so I'm gonna do that. Yeah, they're IRL Neon assist for session, so I'm gonna give him an extra invite. It seems like whoever the game gave host to, everyone is okay. If you're watching the stream and are in the lobby, let me know if something's going wrong, and we'll make a new lobby. But it seems like everything's okay at the moment. But yeah, regardless, we will go on board with... excuse me about that, I'm sorry. So yeah, we'll pick up Plecosaurus now, coming through turns 10 and 11. He's 2.5 seconds up. You would expect that, given that his hard lap wasn't spectacular, you have to say. So he's going to be coming through turn 12 now. Very tidy. Through the final few corners, through the hairpin, a little bit of a lockup. I'm not sure if that was an actual lockup or not. But through the final corner, he's going to extend as much as he can, get right out wide. And this should be... No, it's not, a 20.8. So actually, maybe there is proper fight for the title here between quite a few guys. Tim in first, of course. There's Tom not too far off. I'm sure Adam can go quicker than he is. It seems close between the top guys as we come into the final stages of practice now. Pretty much everyone on a lap. Everyone bar Alfie right now out on a lap. Pretty much everyone on softs, I think. Adam is out into the gravel trap. He's got a little bit of wing damage as well. Luckily, he didn't crash completely out. But he has a lot less wing than he had, I'm sure, when he went into that corner. Jared Fosbury on an invalid outlap. We'll go on board with him, of course. He is someone you'd be expecting to be up there as a 20.4 from Louis Quinlan, so the times really are improving at the final stages of this practice session as Jared Fosbury opens up his DRS. He uses his overtake to start off the lap to try and get a little bit of extra power going down into turn 1. Now approaching turn 3 here. Gotta really be careful with that curb, because if you get up on it, might be a little bit unsettling. It's usually better to stay off, I think. Might be saying nonsense there though. As he finishes sector 1 3/10 up on a 21.8, so this will be on a 21.5, so he's going to have to find quite a lot of time, really. Sector 1, where you would be finding most of your time, so this might not even be P1, as he's going to have to find a lot in sector 3. Sector 3, I'd say, is his last chance. Maybe he made a mistake in sector 3, you never know. As Tim finishes up, he is second, I should say. Paco is third. Tom Jewell in fourth. Looks like Adam is done for now. He's on the 21.5 in seventh. But Jared Fosbury is going to be coming through on the softs. He hasn't invalidated yet. Through the hairpin. No lock-up like Paco had earlier. And he's going to come through the final corner. As a few retirements, of course, as it is right at the end of the session. So he's going to come across the line, and it's not going to be first in the session at 20.6. So it seems quite close between the top guys, but the two Renaults, who really, if you look at it on paper, you would be expecting them to be up there. They're not. And Adrian Storm now goes fourth. Of course, he was fighting with Tom Jewell last season. He's only a 10th between him and his previous title rival. Paco is done now at 20.8 for him. And it looks like that is more or less it, as Dom is in the pits. Hopefully he retires soon. I think he's the last one we're waiting on. It is Dominic, but I would probably be naturally calling him Dom, so just for a note there. And there it is. And I won't lie, I didn't really know what to expect from a practice session, but it was actually really enjoyable. So, I mean, I don't know, it was really an enjoyable experience as a commentator to commentate over a practice. But it is Louis Quinlan who actually takes top spot in the practice session, the only practice session you'll see this season. I would almost say, unfortunately, because I really enjoyed it, as I said. But Jared Fosbury is going to be second, with Tim in third. It's Adrian Storm in fourth, Paco Suarez in fifth, AlphaTauri in sixth, Yuan in seventh, I think. Adam eighth, Dom, Reese. Oh no, that's Yuan. So that actually what must have been JDW then. Ross Williams. Unfortunately, I can't see the names, so it's kind of annoying. Because I swear he said he wasn't racing, so if someone's in the wrong car, it's going to be a little bit annoying. Because I'll be calling them by the wrong name. But 14 for the race is actually more than expected. There we go, it's 18. I was getting a little scared there. I will check the... Okay, so... Nothing new in the comments, so I'm gonna assume Jared did... Well, Jared must have got back in. I was actually commentating on this lap 2 seconds ago. So, yeah, he definitely did get back in. Just kind of clean it up. I'm gonna... No, oops. Okay, and then do that. Just to make it a little bit more official. That's kind of what I prefer personally. Because you can still see their ERS by just going on board with them. You can kind of just see it on their wheels, so it's kind of just what I prefer. Because there you can see the bar. So I mean, you can obviously kind of tell their gears. It's just kind of normal. So as I have no idea where this shot is from, but sure. So it is a Renault who is first, I think. Or is it? No, it should be a Renault. It's not Paco, so it's Jared Fosbury. who's going to be setting the first time the benchmark for everyone else as he takes out the bollard. Is there a... does he see that? Am I the only one who's going to be... Why? What? I'm sorry. Wait. Why? Wait, the next one is Tom, I hope? Well, Tom will be seeing it. Why is there a safety car? Is it still on track? Why is there a safety car? I'm baffled. I don't... one of the next ones is gonna be... the Alpha Roommate... Oh, well, I'm spinning, actually. But there's a safety car just sitting there. What? I don't understand. Do they not see it? Incredible. I will try to actually, like, take this seriously, but there is going to be a safety car going around every now and then that the drivers seem to be unfazed by, but I certainly see it. The drivers just kind of plow through it like it's not even there, which is incredible. So yeah, Jared Fosbury then is going to be first across the line. We'll see how well he's going to be doing, and it is of course the benchmark. He's on mediums, so it's going to be Tom Jewell, I think. No, Tim, sorry, to set the next lap. That's Shane Colliard to set a 22.9. Tom Jewell goes P2, so the two AlphaTauris occupy the top two spots. That is... just excuse me, that's Antonio Moretti. Actually, very easy, a bit easier of a name to pronounce, given it's not actually an English name, so yeah, it's actually nice. That's the Italian driver there in the Red Bull. As Paco Suarez, the two Renaults both out on medium, so maybe they'll be looking to set soft times later. Of course, it is a soft hard, I think. A pretty simple soft hard for this track. So, as Adrian Storm goes 5th with a 20.7, as you can see, by the way, already almost into the 19s, 20.0 for Timmy, almost did it first time. So I think the pole time will be in the 19s somewhere, or thereabouts at least. So we'll try and find someone who is still in the lap. I think Dominic Hurley is still in the lap. He's on the mediums, of course. So we'll see how well he can do. There's a Renault, I think, just ahead of him on track. I'm not sure which one that is, but he is going to be coming through the final few corners now, and we'll see how he can do through the hairpin, and then through the final corner as well. We'll see. He's going to be coming up to the line, activating DRS now, I'm sure. Up to the line. How well can he do? It's only 10th. It was a 22.4 as his Alfa Romeo teammate actually comes out of the pits there. I think maybe a bit of slipstream will happen between them. I'm not sure. Of course, they are teammates, so you never know. As a few more comments coming in. If that is about the lobby, is not just for us. It's not for us. Okay. Okay, it's Sean and Shawnee boy then. I mean, he is in the wrong car, but alright then. I mean, luckily Ross Williams isn't going to be here today, so it's not going to affect too much. And of course, next week everyone will definitely be in the correct car, but everyone pretty much coming into the pits now. Louis Quinlan is actually... oh no, actually both of them on an outlap. Adam Corrigan ahead of Louis Quinlan, so we'll go on board with him. Adam Corrigan will be looking to challenge for this pole position, I think. especially given that someone who he was fighting with last season is currently in second, and is of course last season Tom's teammate Tim is in first, so he'll certainly be hoping to be challenging them. So we'll go on board with the lap then. Through the first two corners, you want to really get up on the curb on the exit to really maximize your exit and exit speed all the way through down towards turn 3 here. Very off camber corner kind of, as we see a safety car getting in the way of Adam, but Adam is unfazed by it as he goes right through. He says, I'm not taking anything from no safety car today, and he just tells it bye-bye. So he's going to be continuing on his lap through Sector 2. Now we'll see how well he does. Not too many corners in Sector 2 really. So it's actually, well, he's not actually going to be improving on the time at all because he hasn't set one yet. But we'll see what he does set. It is purple apparently in Sector 2, so maybe this could be quite a good lap. We'll see how he does once he crosses the finish line. Though that's where it counts. The full lap is what counts. Doesn't matter if you have a purple Sector 2, if your first or last sector was bad. We'll see how well he does through the final few corners though into the hairpin. Of course, there's not going to be any locking up for Adam. I'm pretty sure he does use ABS, so no locking up for him as he comes through the final corner, and he's going to be up to the line. Will this be pole position? No, it's going to be third at 20.5, the second 20.5 to be set actually, between him and Tom, very close, and also between himself and Antonio, very very close between second through, well really through seventh. Second through seventh is a small improvement will catapult you up the grid. So Adam Corrigan now in third. Blue Quinlan was on a lap, I swear, but yeah, he was, a 31.9, so obviously he made a mistake on his previous lap. Was that the safety? Okay, I don't think that was a safety car, but the safety car is somewhere. It's just amazing how this game is. It amazes me. So this should be Sean then. So Sean, I'm not sure of his second name. I will get it at the end of this session, but for now it's just going to be Sean. He's going to be coming through the final few corners. He's currently on a 21.3, so he's going to be looking for quite a big improvement to try and challenge for a top spot, and it's going to be 20.6, so again, very very close. It seems generally the time to be setting is about a 20.6, as of course two people have 20.5, two people at 20.6, and then two people at 20.7. Speaking of a 20.7, someone with one just improved a small bit to a 0.4 and is up into third, so seventh to third just like that. That's what I'm saying, a tiny difference in your lap time, one less mistake and you could be third. So if that's how it's going to be this season, then I'm excited for it, because it's really like, it's almost impossible to tell who will take to, well, I mean you can't really make a deduction properly from this, but it's going to be difficult to know who's going to be up there, because a lot of people seem to be close on pace. So like pretty much the top 7, any one of them could improve, top 8 even, any one of them. Jared as well as is 9th, and you know Jared can do better. So it's really hard to call right now. As actually Antonio Moretti with the 19.7, a very very good lap from Antonio and the Red Bull. So 19.7, first one to be in the 19s, so a very very good lap from him. I'm sure he'll be happy with that, 3/10 ahead of Tim, so Tim will be looking for a bit of an improvement to try and retake the pole position. As Tom Jewell now crosses the line. Is that a mistake though? It seems a bit laggy. It looked a little bit like a mistake to me. He's not using the ERS. Yeah, it doesn't seem like he's going... Excuse me, it doesn't look like he's going for a lap. We'll pick up Juan, who is a tenth up on his time. Oh, actually, almost 2 tenths up, so a 0.4, as you can see, a 0.4 would put in 4th or 5th. Currently 7th. He's going to be coming through. Oh, that's very, very unfortunate for him. A little bit too wide there. And that's going to be his quali lap over. And he's going to have to come back into the pits and probably wait right till the end, because it doesn't look like there's near enough time to be setting 2 laps from here. Tom Jewell, he's on an invalid lap. Tim Bruce Dalens, of course, he's currently 2nd. There's a Renault behind him that's of Paco Suarez, it should be. Yeah, it is. He's the Renault that's on that lap. As Tim takes to the grass a little bit, trying to get a bit of grass on his tyres, and I'm not sure if that's going to be helping your tyres, Tim, but, you know. I did actually see someone else do it earlier as well, and maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's tradition. As Tim tries to warm up his tyres a little bit as he comes through the final part of the track to try and see if he can take this pole back for himself. Of course, Antonio Moretti just over 3 tenths quicker, so he's going to have to do quite a bit to take this back. So through turn 1, as I said earlier with Adam, you're going to have to take a little bit more than that actually at the curb. He didn't hit it as well as he could have, as he goes straight through the safety car into turn 3 down to 2nd gear, and it really should be a short shift there up to 3rd, but he didn't. It's not the best thing to be doing. He should be short shifting a little bit, as he actually clips the curb there. It's not going to be helping him. He's just down on his time. It's not what he needs, especially in Sector 1. You want to be improving in Sector 1 to really make sure you're going to be improving on your lap. This corner can actually make or break your lap in a way, because a bad exit out of there will affect your run all the way through to the fast left-right hander, as Louis Quinlan now, the 2nd person into the 19.9 is... Oh, Tim! Oh, right into the barrier. That's really, really unfortunate. Oh, that's really unfortunate. He was just down in his time in Sector 1. I didn't actually catch if he was up in Sector 2, but... Oh, that's so unfortunate for Tim. He's going to be 3rd at best for him. That's... I'm not even going to call it a ball. I just kind of feel sorry for Tim. I actually wanted him to finish that lap. But it's very unfortunate. Maybe we need a safety car now. The safety car is out on track, so maybe we need it. Maybe it's a good thing. You never know. As Reese March now, currently on a 20.7, he's going to be coming through the final corner. One of 2 or 3 people on the lap, I think. Louis Quinlan just finished his, so he's going to be on an in lap. And Reese March, I think there was actually a small improvement, up to 20.5. So he puts himself 7th. But I think that's going to be his final run though. So doesn't really... I don't think it would instill him with confidence, given everyone else behind him can still set a time, 2 of which have set times on the mediums. Paco Suarez in 11th, he might actually take that. Can't be sure yet. As Shane in Sector 2, he's 3 tenths up. So maybe he's going for this. He must have had a mistake somewhere. It's a 22.9 is on the mediums as well. That's going to be that's going to take a toll on your lap time. So you would be expecting quite the improvement, unless a little bit of a cut there, and not even a beneficial cut. I mean, up on the grass there, it's never somewhere you want to be. And that's the end of his lap. It's pretty much everyone on laps now. Antonio Moretti on actually he's on a lap, and he's improving. He's improving by just under a tenth as he finishes up with Sector 1, so this could be even a mid-19. As I said, pole time might be able to be like a mid-19, and it's looking like it unless he's... another invalidation. Seems to be quite a common thing occurring right now. As Louis Quinlan, I think, was just exiting the pit lane there. Tom Jewell is on a 20.1. He's going to be looking for quite a significant improvement. He's on a 20.1, about 4 or 5 tenths. Will definitely do it. As he's going to be coming up to finish Sector 2, we'll see he's down by 1/10.5. I don't think if he's down by that much that he's going to be able to make up enough time in any other sectors. A little bit of an improvement will be his teammate, but apart from that, I think Louis Quinlan will be a little bit too far away, so the best he can be hoping for is third as he goes really wide. Oh my word! And, well, he ends up facing the right way in the end, but my word, that was some crash. And of course he's going to be coming in the pit lane. That was a crazy crash to watch there. Both AlphaTauris having significant crashes, both in Sector 3 as well. So that's not going to give some confidence if they're doing that in quali. Adrian Storm on a lap. I think Paco Suarez is on a lap as well. We'll go on board with Adrian Storm for now. In front of him, I think, yeah, it is actually Adam Corrigan. He is on an invalid lap, I should say. So he's going to be letting him through. And actually, now Adrian is on an invalid lap. So I am going to go to Paco Suarez as he goes straight through the safety car. As he starts Sector 2. He's going to be coming into turn 8, I think. It is actually turn 8. And then a little kink of turn 9. And now he's going to be approaching turn 10. There's... I think that was Adam who just retired, I'm not sure. Someone is off to the side. Maybe he didn't actually retire, maybe he just made a mistake. But it is Paco Suarez now that we're watching, and 19.4 from Antonio Moretti. So actually quite quick, you have to say. Paco Suarez now is going to be coming through the final few corners. What can he do as he approaches the line? Is he going to be able to set anything close to a 19.4? It's going to be a 19.7, but not enough. So Antonio Moretti quite significantly faster than the rest of the grid, it seems. Paco Suarez unfortunately couldn't do it. And there you have it then. That's Antonio Moretti to take pole for the preseason race, of course. Paco Suarez 3/10 behind, so maybe it's not a significant difference. Maybe if Paco had a few better corners, maybe he could have at least been closer. I mean, of course he could have, but maybe it's not as big a gap as it might seem. But Louis Quinlan takes P3 and Jared Fosbury in P4. The two Renaults both up there, so maybe they'll be able to help each other out. The AlphaTauris a little bit of an outside shot in 5th and 6th. Storm in 7th, Adam Corrigan in 8th, Reese in 9th, that's Sean in 10th, Yuan in 11th, Tom, Shane and Alfie occupying the last few spots on the grid. As we wait for them to get ready for the race. And I'm actually going to take this opportunity while they're on the formation up to go get a water, actually. I'm going to stay just in case there's a problem. But if they're on the formation up, okay, then I'm going to go get a water because my throat is a little bit dry, I think. Yeah, okay, everything's fine. So I'll be back in a very quick second. And back in good time. I'll see around the final few corners in Sector 3. As unfortunately Jared Fosbury and Tim seems to have been in a bit of a collision. So they're disqualified from the outlap. If that was early on, then the tyres might not be looking too healthy. As Antonio now is going to lead the grid in turn 1, whoever leads out of turn 1, kind of up to people like Paco and Louis Quinlan. Maybe if we see a fast starting Jared or Tim, surprise. I mean, you never know. Anything can happen in F1. If you can give me a good camera angle, that would be great. Five red lights for the preseason race here for season 10, and it's lights out and away we go. And it looks like Louis Quinlan has actually got a very good start. He's maybe trying to pressure Paco Suarez now into turn 1, gets ahead of Antonio. Antonio now under pressure as well from Louis Quinlan on the inside. It looks like everyone has gone through more or less okay. Maybe someone a little bit on the grass is actually McLaren and actually no, the two AlphaTauris at the back of the grid, it seems. As everyone really going 3 wide almost, a little bit of wing damage in the background as they funnel through turn 5. It looks like things might die down a little bit here as Antonio, of course, dropping 2 places as the timings are completely glitched, which is not nice for me. Hopefully it fixes Paco Suarez now. Yeah, you can see he is leading the way as pit stop strategy comes up. It's going to be a soft hard, as I said. Pretty easy soft hard as they all funnel through the fast left right. Hopefully we see no one crashing through this really quick. There's actually someone up on the grass. That's the Merc. That's Reese March. Is he in? No, he is not actually. He got very close to it as Shane says thank you very much down the inside, and I think he was gaining a place at the 2 Alfa Romeos. Actually having a decent start. Dom is actually up 3 places. Adam Cargan has stayed put in 8th place. Ruchelot there, that's one having a very, very good start. Up 5. And of course the AlphaTauri of Tim Bruceyan's having a very, very bad start. He's in the pits now. So very, very unfortunate for him. Same with Adam Cargan actually. He stayed put, but it seems whatever happened, or maybe something happened to Adam Cargan. I mean, we did see a little bit of wing damage, so obviously it's too bad to be continuing. As Antonio, it seems, has actually got back past Louis Quinlan recently, as we were kind of making sure no one was crashing. Maybe we should have been focusing on the lead, so I'll try and make sure I don't miss anything with the top guys. So that's what really matters at the end of the day, you know. Excuse me. So yeah, Paco Suarez leading in the early stages of this race. Antonio Moretti following closely behind Louis Quinlan. Excuse me, sorry. I'll take a bit of water. There is actually just the Renault there down the inside of Louis Quinlan. That's Jared Fosbury there down the inside of Louis Quinlan. So Jared Fosbury promotes himself to P3, and the two Renaults now both in the podium spot. So it's really a Red Bull versus both of those Renaults. So maybe they'll be able to employ a little bit of team strategy. If Jared maybe pits a lap earlier, he could actually put some pressure on Antonio with an undercut, and then Paco just needs to pit with him. So it could actually put the Renaults in a very good position if they can play it right. As now Louis Quinlan trying to put pressure on Jared Fosbury, but maybe he's going to fall back into the clutches of Tom Jewell as well, who is following closely behind in fifth, the top five really, in a little bit of a train, and then there's a little bit of a gap as actually Jared Fosbury sets a purple sector 1. Of course it is lap 3, so maybe quite a few people are, but if it's quicker than the top 2, then maybe he's actually going to be gaining a little bit of time, and if he is, then maybe we could be seeing a Renault 1-2 and maybe a bit of a repeat of what we were seeing in Season 5. Of course it was Paco and Jared going for it in Season 5. Jared Fosbury ended up being the victor. All that time ago, that was back on 2018, if I'm correct. Yeah, it would have been 2018. It's actually, oh Shane, that's a victim to, yeah, into the wall there, and I think Alfie has had the same fate. Yeah, he has. Both of them out. I think safety car is off. It was kind of a last minute decision to put damage on. So I don't think that there's going to be any safety car here. Which is, it's kind of unfortunate, as Timber Stadiums is going to be passing him now. He's finally up into 12th. There is actually a little bit of fighting. That's, oh, Reese March up on the grass. He was fighting with Adam Corrigan. Now Tim Bruce Dalens is going to be able to go through as well. It seems he's really struggling with those rears for some reason. As Jared Fosbury's made a mistake. He's down to 5th. It looks like Uwan is... Nah, he's a little bit too far off. As Storm follows really closely behind. We'll see if he's going to be able to make a move. Maybe into turn 10. That would be very dangerous, I think. But not out of the question, as also turn 13, I think it is a little bit safer after these corners. He's going to stick behind for now. It doesn't look like he's had a good enough exit to be challenging. I mean, no, he hasn't. It's Jared Fosbury. Does he have damage, though? He does have actually quite significant damage. And he's going to have to make his way... Oh, no, wait, that's Paco Suarez! I'm sorry, I actually mixed up the Reynolds there. That's Paco Suarez with damage. So something happened to Paco Suarez. That's... I don't know how. From the lead, I mean... That is something else. I mean, he's going to be hoping that doesn't happen to him next week, but... we do see Storm following Yuan really closely now. He's going to be looking for a move, maybe around the outside, but he can't actually make it work. Tom Jewell following behind Louis Quinlan. They've all been promoted a place now. Pretty much most of the grid has been promoted a place after Paco Suarez is now in the pits. He's still in the pit. He might actually come out behind Adam Corrigan here. As, oh. Is that a... was that a reset? Okay, that's 5, 6... Okay, that might... He might have got a warning for a collision there, Reese March. Which would be unfortunate. I mean, of course, pre-season it doesn't actually... Like, there's no points up for grabs or anything, but... Yeah, it's unfortunate for Paco. I'm not completely sure what happened to him. Shane leaves the session after crashing out. It's... yeah. It happens, turn 11. But Jared Fosbury now really closing in on Antonio. in the Red Bull. Of course, Antonio had quite a dominant quali lap, but it seems in the race he's falling back into the clutches of Jared Fosbury. Of course, the Renault of Paco Suarez has actually just crashed in turn 11 now at the exit, similar to the incident with Shane. There's also Adam Corrigan spinning in the final corner. We saw that was Tom Jewell doing the same in practice. So, and another crash. A lot of crashes happening right now. As Dom and Reese March come together, Adam Corrigan tries to go through. He almost loses his rear end, trying to avoid them both. As his teammate goes back through, but he has no wings, so hopefully he's let through. It's not like fought too much. As yeah, I mean he goes off the track. He probably couldn't fight that if he wanted to. As that was another really. Oh my. Another crash. And he was fighting with Storm there as well. Okay, hopefully there's not a load of crashes that's gonna take focus off the fight for the lead, because the fight for the lead, you have to say, is really close right now. They're following really closely together, Jared Fosbury and Antonio. And if they can have a proper fight for the lead, it would be very nice to see, as Juan gets a 5-second penalty. I am going to ask you how to actually say your name after. I am going to try and find that out, because I don't think I'm saying it right. But yeah, Jared Fosbury. It's Renault versus Red Bull right now. It looks like Tim has actually been making his way through the field, to be fair to him. He's made his way back up into 7th, so a bit of a recovery drive for him as Dom peels into the pits. So was there another crash there? Because I swear it was Adam actually making a place. Or maybe that was Juan pitting. It was actually Juan pitting. He's on fresh hards. So we'll see now if the top 2 are going to pit or react to anyone. And it's actually Jared Fosbury into the pits on lap 7. So he's going to be looking for an undercut. The undercut can be quite powerful. I mean, I have done it. I have had my fair share of undercuts, and they do work. Like they can be quite powerful. As Jared Fosbury now is going to come out with Tom Jewell, I think. No, actually, Tom Jewell's going to be a little bit too far back, so he is going to be in a little bit of clean air. As there's a Mercedes ahead of him. That's actually Reese March. I was thinking that was Lou Quinlan, but it didn't really make sense because it didn't say it was in pit lane. That is his teammate. So, yeah. Jared Fosbury now out in 4th. He's on the hards, and he's looking for an undercut on Antonio. Now, will Antonio react to that, or is he going to continue on as he was, is the real question here. He has got a little bit of a gap to Louis Quinlan. Jared Fosbury's got loads of clean air to use. It's going to be a while until he catches up to anyone. The next car on track, if you look on the track map there, that's not Louis Quinlan, that is his teammate, so it's a lapped car. He's not going to be getting in his way. And I'm pretty sure ghosting should be on as far as I'm aware as well. So I don't think he's going to be a threat at all. Regardless, he is a lapped car. So the next one up in 3rd is 8 seconds up the road. So there's no way that he's going to face any traffic. As now Louis Quinlan into the pits, this is a bit of an overcut. He's going to be looking to hopefully get in front of Jared Fosbury. And I think that's a glitch. He's going to teleport there as usual, because that's how this game is. But Jared Fosbury is actually going to go through. He's going to very much retain that 2nd place. I don't really think there was much doubt about that, but yeah. He comes out behind Tom Jewell and ahead of Adrian Storm. Adrian Storm and Tom Jewell not too far off each other, so maybe if there's a little bit of fighting. And actually Reese March round in turn 2. So another spin, another crash in this race. 14 and 7, that's 21 seconds. So it could actually still be very close. Maybe those softs still got a little bit of life in them. Maybe Antonio is trying to push a little bit at the same time. Not completely sure, but it seems Antonio is is actually keeping pace with Jared Fosbury's medium, or hards I should say. Maybe he's actually going to try and stretch them to go mediums? I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's meant to be a bad strategy. Antonio continues on another lap. He's going to be going at least to the end of lap 10 at this rate. In the Williams now, this is Sean. Will he? He is going to go into the pits, which will kind of release Jared Fosbury. I say release, but he was already released before in as much clean air as he had. So we're going to be seeing the updated gap between the top two now. Once it updates, 21 seconds the gap, and Jared Fosbury is only going to be able to close that gap now. It just depends on how much can he close that gap. When will Antonio pit? Those are the questions that we're going to have to be asking here. I think that's Dom. Yeah, it is Dom actually in between them. So a few people getting lapped right now of Dom and Reese March. Reese March and Dom not really having the best of races. Both of them actually came together earlier in the race. So yeah, Jared Fosbury anyway in sector 1. He is closing. He closed about 3/10 in that first sector. He's almost within 20 seconds. It all depends on when Antonio pits now, really. Is he gonna pit this lap? Is he gonna pit in a few laps time? Is he gonna try and stretch these softs? No, he isn't. He is into the pits now. So it's really a question of, has Jared Fosbury done enough on this undercut strategy to get ahead? We will be on board with him because he should be coming out at least alongside the Red Bull there. The Red Bull now has got his tyres on, so he's going to be coming down the pit lane. Jared Fosbury is rounding the final corner now. So we'll see who is going to reign victorious. It was Antonio Moretti leading before the pit stops, but it's going to be Jared Fosbury just ahead. It was a 2-lap undercut there, and he gets ahead by almost 2 seconds there. It was a second and a half there, so a beautiful undercut strategy pulled off by Jared Fosbury there. And he's up into first place. And now Antonio on those mediums. Yeah, actually, I should have actually made a bigger deal about that. I didn't even realise he's on the mediums now. So he's going to be going to the end on the mediums. Jared Fosbury is on the hards, going to the end as well. He has got an undercut to work, but the only thing is that now Antonio has the better tyre. He's going to be quicker right now. I mean, he's caught like 5/10 almost after coming out of the pit stop. So you would be expecting Antonio to be making a move anytime soon for the lead of this race. Tom Jewell actually going to the end as well. If they fight enough, Tom Jewell might be brought into this fight. You might be able to see him in the background momentarily every now and then. Louis Quinlan has actually got passed by Tom Jewell. It seems Tom Jewell went for an undercut. He did pit a little earlier than everyone else. 1 lap earlier than Jared as well. So that just kind of shows you how early he did pit. And it got him ahead of Louis Quinlan. But Louis Quinlan is closing now. He's almost within a second. But speaking of within a second, Antonio now very much within a second of Jared Fosbury. Jared Fosbury is going to be defending for this race lead that he got through the pit stops. A really nice lead on strategies. Antonio really closes up, almost hits Jared. Has to actually lock his brakes a little bit and go forward, go straight on I should say, to avoid hitting him. As you can kind of see through the corners how much worse grip those hards are giving. So if Jared Fosbury can keep Antonio behind long enough during the earlier stages of Antonio's stint, he can kind of wreck Antonio's tyres in a way, and then once Jared Fosbury's hards become better, then it'll be a little bit easier to keep behind, and maybe he can start pulling away after that. But if that happens, we'll see as they come through turns 10 and 11. It should be a much better corner for the mediums, but he hasn't actually been able to make the most of it. So Antonio is going to have to stick behind for now. The top two separated by under half a second. So any mistake from Jared Fosbury, I'm sure we'll be seeing Antonio then going straight through to take the lead of this race. On those mediums, of course. So it'll really be a question of how quickly can Antonio get past Jared Fosbury. as I think we might be seeing a move very, very soon going through the first corner. It's going to be all about the exit for Antonio. And it doesn't look like he's actually got the exit he's needed, so he can't get a good enough exit to challenge Jared Fosbury. He's got actually plenty of ERS. Jared Fosbury hasn't really got all that much. It looks like Antonio has like 80, maybe 90%. Compared to Jared Fosbury, he was probably around 20 or 30, so there is a difference between their ERS. And Antonio, I'd say if he wanted to make the move, he certainly could make it. There's a little bit of lag between the two as it sorts itself out. They are very much very close and no mistakes from either of them. Jared Fosbury still keeping Antonio behind for now, but how much longer can he do it? If Antonio just uses ERS at the exit of this corner, if he can get a decent exit out of turn 10, and it looks like this might actually be the move here. If he uses a little bit of overtake, he is using a little bit of overtake. Jared Fosbury is going to have to defend this. Antonio looked for the inside, but he's going to have to stick behind, excuse me. He's got so close, within almost 1/10 there, going into that corner as he gets very close to the back of Jared Fosbury. But coming through the final corner, it doesn't look like he's got enough, so Jared Fosbury placed his car quite well there to make sure Antonio couldn't go up the inside, and he's going to retain this lead. But for how much longer is actually Jared Fosbury? Is he into the wall? That he is into the wall. He's got damage as well. So Antonio's going to definitely very easily go through. Tom Jewell is going to be making a move on him soon as well. He was defending for the race lead, but into the gravel trap he goes. And yeah, that's kind of the race win over for Jared Fosbury. As you can see how bad that wing is affecting him, as I think someone else is going to be making a move on him soon. Yeah, Storm, as Jared Fosbury very much lets him through. So yeah, we had a fight for the lead, but actually now we have a fight for P2 as Tom Jewell and Louis Quinlan are going at it. Louis Quinlan got a much better exit, and he's actually going to make that move quite easily before the corner, unfortunately. So no side-by-side movement, although quite often in this race, if you're side-by-side with someone, you've probably been in a crash, which is kind of sad. But there's also Sean making a move on Jared there. Jared, of course, a kind of stricken Renault. He's going to be making his way back to the pit lane, as Tim Stalins and I was going to be making a move on him soon. So yeah, into the pits I would assume. Yeah, he is. And he's going to be getting it. Oh, well, I mean, do I call it intentional or a bottle? I'm not sure which is more fun. Well, I mean, intentional wouldn't be fun, but bottle would be funny. But who knows? So, yeah, in the end, I mean, both Renaults were challenging for their win. Oh, jeez, what? Can I English? They were fighting for the win, but unfortunately something happened to both of them. Kind of just on their own accord. It seems Paco crashed on his own as well. And it's gonna leave Antonio kind of on his own out in front. He is also pulling a gap. As well, I would assume that's Jared in the comments. We'll see. It's okay. Okay, you did actually bottle the well. Okay, well, it's actually the funny outcome that's happened. So, bottle then from Jared Fosbury, crashing into the pit lane. Of course, it's not round one, so it's not the worst thing that could have happened to him, but it is kind of embarrassing, I can't lie. So yeah, that's a rip for you, Jared. But Louis Quinlan now, it looks like he's pulling a bit of a gap to Tom Jewell. Tom Jewell just hanging in the DRS for now. 9/10 the difference. And it doesn't really look like there's many fights right now, which is really unfortunate because the two Renaults were giving quite a lot of entertainment, but both of them are out now, and it's kind of just left Antonio to just be in the lead and chill. Which, I mean, why wouldn't he? You know, he's made no mistakes. He took pole as well. He couldn't take it. He couldn't keep it through the first few corners. Got passed by Louis Quinlan as well, but he got back past Louis Quinlan, kept it clean, and he is leading this race. So maybe the Renaults were pushing too much. Never know. Maybe they were pushing a bit more because it's pre-season to try and eke out a bit extra performance to see what they can do and can't do. You never know. But yeah, Antonio at the end of the day, he is in first, and he's still pulling a gap to second and third, which is actually the closest battle right now. I'm sorry about drinking quite a bit. It's water, but yeah, my throat is a little bit off right now. A little bit dry. Nine people left, of course. We started with 14. So, kind of unfortunate on that front. That not more people could stay. Tom Jewell, it looks like he's actually lost DRS as well. So it kind of looks like that our last hope of fighting is kind of gone. There's 1.1, 1.2 seconds between them. Antonio is only increasing that gap. I don't know, maybe Tom slows down and we see a bit of a fight between the two title rivals from last season. That would be nice, but I don't know, it's up to Tom. Hopefully, maybe he's listening to the stream. I mean, I know Jared is. I think Paco might be, if they're in a party, and it could happen. But right now, I don't really have any fight to commentate over, which is very, very sad. As everyone will just kind of be cruising to the end right now. Antonio's still extending his gap. Of course, those mediums will be very much fine for quite a while longer. And you can see the gap that is... Oh, what's... Wait. Oh, that was actually a lap car, wasn't it? Yeah. That was Reece March getting out of the way. Sean and Tim not so far away. And then from really the two Alfa Romeos and Reece March have all been lapped, I think, at this point. Where do I get to leader? Yeah. Oh, actually, Adam hasn't actually been lapped. So he's just far away. He's not lapped though. And Tim is pitting onto the softs. Could we see a fight? Hopefully. Adam Corrigan's coming to the final corner. Well, coming up to the line, I should say. And Tim is out of the pits. He's going to be trying it around the outside. He can't do it. Tim gets just in front of Adam Corrigan. And if he's going to be using those to set fast times, then I think he's going to be going into the distance now. So Adam has actually seen civilization, but it's just out of his grasp, and he's gonna watch it go into the distance and away from him. So I would say poor Adam there. He was so close yet so far. as Dom picks up a 3-second pen. Tim, of course, well, I mean, you may as well go on board with him. It's something. He's most likely going to be setting the quickest time of this race, so. And yeah, I mean, when you pop on the softs late into the race and do a clean lap, you're probably going to get the fastest lap, and that's exactly what happened as Tim goes fastest. Louis Quinlan picks up a 3-second pin, and actually, that could be something to, oh my word, Louis Quinlan was 15 seconds apiece. And if I do, well, that is actually integral. So 8, 11 seconds. So that's like 4. Math. Nah, I'm good. I was gonna do a bit of math there, but well, 15 seconds would put him like 18, 23, which means there, and then so he would actually finish 4th. Okay, I can actually do maths. What do you know? As Reese, I should say, speeds in pit lane, but he retires from the session, so yeah, that's, I mean, he wasn't having the best race, so that's unfortunate that he's retiring, but yeah. Everyone with pins as well. Not a single one out on track without a pin. As actually Tim's just weaving. I'm not sure if he knows we're spectating him, but if you do, then hello Tim. There's actually Adam Corrigan has been a few times, it seems. Well, I mean, it's something. It's something to watch a little bit of weaving from Tim. course, given how many people were tired, it's kind of a given that you would make some sort of a comeback. But I mean, I would give it a little bit of credit. Being 6th, I mean, he was pretty much last at the start of lap 1, so it's not too bad. I have to respect the comeback. Yeah, there's really nothing I'm not really sure what to fill these bits with, but yeah, as we've known for some time, Antonio leading the race, he's still pulling out a bigger gap to the guys behind, so yeah, still extending it, maybe to a lesser extent now than he was, but still extending it. Actually, maybe not. Louis Quinlan is actually closing in now a little bit. Or actually, maybe he's not closing necessarily as much as maybe there was just a bit of a push stop from Louis Quinlan, because now the gap is going back up. It's a little bit of a tank stepper there from Antonio. But he is kind of just cruising. He's 25 out of 29. And I mean, there's really no one to tell him otherwise. As long as he keeps it clean, he's gonna cruise to the finish line with no issues. As Adam Corrigan gets a 3-second penalty, or another one, I should say, and Tim gets a 3-second penalty. Kinda sad when the closest battle is a gap of 6.5 seconds. But if anyone tuned in recently, I would honestly recommend going back and watching lap 1 to like lap, say, like 14. That's where the action was, at least. That's where the entertainment is. This really isn't quite as good as the first few laps, but I mean, if the season was like the first half of this race, then I mean, as I would expect it to be. Of course, this is a 14-car grid. There's still a few more people that weren't able to show up today. And if there's this much commitment as well for a pre-season race, then I mean, we could be seeing full grids all season as well, on top of that, which is really nice to kind of think about. if they're this passionate about the league that they're going to be showing up to preseason in these numbers. It does fills me with confidence that as a commentator that I'd be getting nice grids. Every time I look at the gaps, they just seem a few tenths bigger, or seconds bigger in the case of the gap between first and second. Kind of wish I could go back to the first few laps, and then tell Paco and Jared to, like, Paco I'd say to watch, like, I don't know, somewhere in sector 1 or 2. Actually, it was sector 1 where the mistake was made, so yeah, I'd tell him to watch himself in sector 1 and Jared to watch himself in turn 3. It was turn 3, was it? Oh no, it was actually turn 2. He went off on the right. So yeah, if I could go back and tell them to watch those, well, sector and corner, because I don't know where Paco actually crashed. I assume it was the right-hander, the fast right, but yeah, it would be nice to tell them to watch those corners, and then maybe we'd still have a fight for the lead. Or at least the fight for the lead would be closer than 12 seconds. Because if you're tuning in now, you might think like, oh, look, like, it's so boring, someone's just dominant. Like, it wasn't, and it shouldn't have been. Because the two Renaults were very close to Antonio at the start. And Paco was actually ahead of him. Led into turn 1 after just, I mean, he jumped Antonio off the line and took the lead and kept it quite comfortably for quite a few laps until suddenly, out of nowhere, it wasn't in the seating anymore. And then Jared undercut Antonio, took the lead, was defending him, or fending him off on his hards, while Antonio was on fresh mediums, as we are now on the final lap of the race. So yeah, through the final 2 corners, Antonio, of course, he was fighting with Renaults at the start, but now he's gonna taste a little bit of glory in this preseason race. Maybe get a taster of what's to come in the rest of the season. It's Antonio Moretti who's gonna take the preseason win. Louis Quinlan's going to take second, but given how many penalties I saw him have earlier, I think it's going to be Tom Jewell to actually take second, and maybe even Storm to take third. So the two F3 title rivals are going to be both on the podium. Arguably shouldn't have been if the Renaults kept it on the track, but they didn't. As actually, it seems like Storm had a few more penalties by the end of it, so he's going to take fourth. Sean takes fifth in the Williams, but he's not actually in the Williams, so next week he should be back in his proper car. Tim is going to take sixth after being last on the first lap, so I'm sure he's happy with that. And Tom has already finished up Adam Corrigan in eighth, and the rest 9th through 14th retirements. So that has been the preseason then. I won't lie, the second half of that race was... I enjoyed the practice more. I actually really enjoyed the practice. But there you go, top step of the podium for oh my god, how have I forgotten his name? Well, for the Italian driver, I'll say for now, Antonio Moretti. There you go. I forgot it for a few seconds, but yeah, there you go. Antonio Moretti takes the top step in the opening, well, not opening, but pre-season race, and Tom Jewell, of course, in second, with Louis Quinn in third. 15 seconds depends, but not enough to demote him to fourth. Storm having a few, actually it wouldn't have mattered even if Storm didn't have pens. So yeah, there you go. Sean in fifth, Tim in sixth, Dom in seventh, and Adam in eighth, and then Reisman, Yuan, I'm not completely sure, Jared Fosbury, Paco, Alfie, and Shane all DNFing in today's race. So yeah, there you go. I'm not going to be doing podium interviews for today. They will be for the rest of the season, like from start to finish, round 1 through round 12, but for now it won't be. So that's going to be into the stream. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully we'll see you for the rest of the season, which I think is actually going to be a close one. So be on the lookout for this F2 kind of title fight, I guess, because I think it's going to be big. As I will actually take a look at that comment just before it ends. Okay, there wasn't. Okay, there wasn't actually new comments. So yeah, there you go. That has been the pre-season race. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next week for round 1. So yeah, goodbye.